Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nos programmes offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Нашите предавания предлагат много езици. Моля вижте suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Due to climate change, there is now substantially less water in these mountain snowpacks. The warmer temperatures sees them starting to melt at least 2 weeks earlier in the spring. Glacier National Park, the crown of the continent, part 2 of 2. Continue watching to discover more.
Vegan, our world is an emergency.
Gitsakakumin is how the Blackfeet people say "I love you" in the indigenous Blackfoot language. Nature-loving viewers, I am Steve. The gracious people of the Blackfeet Nation wish that you may continuously thrive in God's wisdom and divine embrace. Welcome to part 2 of a 2-part series entitled Glacier National Park, the Crown of the Continent. Often referred to as the Crown of the Continent, Glacier National Park, one of America's original 10 national parks, is located in the northern Rocky Mountains in northwestern Montana on the Canadian-United States border. This scenic paradise holds tremendous significance in symbolizing the unity and deep-rooted friendship between the two countries. In 1932, Glacier National Park joined Waterton Lakes National Park in Alberta, Canada, to form the world's first international peace park, known as Waterton Glacier International Peace Park. In 1976, Glacier National Park was designated an International Biosphere Reserve by the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization, or UNESCO. The International Peace Park became a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1995. Various floras adorn the pristine landscape at Glacier National Park. With its alpine scenery and deep valleys of ancient forest, the park is home to over 1,100 plant species and a diversity of wildlife. 71 species of mammals inhabit this wondrous paradise, including mountain goats, black bears, lynx, wolverines, wolves, moose, Rocky Mountain elks, white-tailed deer, river otters, and porcupines. There are also almost 300 species of birds. A utopia for bird watchers, visitors can view the bald and golden eagle, America's pride, year-round at the park. The reserve is inhabited by 23 species of fish and a few species of reptiles, the western painted turtle and 2 species of garter snake, as well as amphibians. Another interesting inhabitant in the reserve are the wolves. What is unique about the wolf population at Glacier National Park is that they naturally recolonized in the park during the 1980s after human activity had eliminated them from the park for some 50 years prior. Although most famous for its amazing mountains, Glacier National Park is also home to many lakes. The park consists of more than 130 named lakes. The largest, Lake McDonald, sits in a U-shaped valley that was sculpted by mighty glaciers. Impressive peaks surround the crystal-clear lake. St. Mary Lake, which is northeast of Lake McDonald, is the second largest lake in the park. Located at an elevation of 4,484 feet or 1,367 meters, St. Mary Lake has icy cold waters. A tiny island known as Wild Goose Island sits within the lake and is one of the most photographed spots in the preserve. Here, you may spot a contented grizzly bear and his family roaming near the lake. Next is Avalanche Lake, uniquely crafted by meltwater from the Sperry Glacier. Currently, the lake still receives water from that glacier. Another incredible sight is Iceberg Lake, with its aquamarine waters resting at an altitude of 6,094 feet or 1,857 meters. A further 2,953 feet or 900 meters above soars Iceberg Peak, Mount Wilbur, and the Continental Divide. Iceberg Lake receives little sunlight since it is surrounded by these massive peaks. As a result, the water and nearby cliff walls accumulate ice and snow, creating a majestic and picturesque environment. As one of the top 10 most popular national parks in the United States, Glacier National Park provides travelers with a variety of activities: sightseeing, camping, hiking, or backpacking on more than 700 miles of trails, birdwatching, cross-country skiing, bicycling, and much more. Becoming vegan has given me a greater purpose, something bigger than myself to fight for, and fight I will. David Carter, vegan. Let's pause to thank Mother Earth for her life-sustaining benevolence. We'll be right back, here on Supreme Master Television. Welcome back to part 2 of a 2-part series entitled Glacier National Park, the Crown of the Continent. For thousands of years, the glaciers have been the most important feature of the landscape at Glacier National Park. The glaciation that shaped the magnificent summits concluded about 12,000 years ago with the last ice age, while the smaller alpine glaciers apparent on the mountainsides were created around 7,000 years ago. From a geological perspective, these alpine glaciers are regarded as new. At the beginning of the most recent cooling, the Little Ice Age, 1550 to 1850, the glaciers expanded in size. But in the mid-19th century, scientists looked back over the past 100 years and found that, of the recorded 150 glaciers in the park, many had disappeared and others had retreated significantly. Currently, Glacier National Park has only 25 active glaciers that continue to move as a result of thawing and melting. Climate change has had a catastrophic effect on the glaciers. The average annual temperature at the park and nearby areas has climbed an astonishing 34.4 degrees Fahrenheit or 1.33 degrees Celsius, 1.8 times more than the global mean. As long-term average temperatures rise, the glaciers begin melting faster than new snow can accumulate. The melting causes the glaciers to shrink and retreat, which has scientists and environmental conservationists very concerned. Sperry Glacier, located on the west side of the Continental Divide and on the north slope of Gunsight Mountain, was once one of the largest glaciers in this park. Since the mid-19th century, Sperry Glacier has receded a shocking 75% from approximately 930 acres. Another glacier that is in danger of disappearing within the next decade is Grinnell Glacier. One of the top photographed glaciers, Grinnell Glacier lies in the heart of the park, in the Lewis Range of the Rocky Mountains at an elevation of about 7,000 feet or 2,100 meters. This phenomenal glacier covered 710 acres in 1850, but in 1993 had reduced to cover only 220 acres. In the last half-century, some of the glaciers have shrunk an astounding 80% from their original size. Scientists estimate that persistent climate change may cause all of Glacier National Park's active glaciers to dissipate by 2030. The loss of glaciers will not only dramatically affect the natural aesthetics of this spectacular sanctuary, but it will also have a detrimental effect on the park ecosystems as well as many other irreversible consequences. The glaciers serve as very important frozen water reservoirs. In the summer, when there is a drought and the streams have little to no flow, the glaciers provide much needed fresh water. Many species of aquatic insects depend on the additional water in the streams as well as its cooling effect. Without it, the insects are in danger of becoming extinct, thereby upsetting the food chain. Additionally, native fish species are at risk due to the warming of the waters. Park rangers are further concerned that wildlife that rely on the cool weather provided by the glaciers for survival may also lose their food source. Due to climate change, there is now substantially less water in these mountain snowpacks. The warmer temperature sees them starting to melt at least 2 weeks earlier in the spring. People residing in the state, nearby communities, and park wildlife rely on these glaciers for fresh drinking water. Warmer global temperatures, drier conditions, and less meltwater means that increasing water demands will not be met. The glacier meltwater plays an integral role in generating electricity as it passes through hydroelectric dams. The water supports local vegetation, agricultural crops, and fire management. Less meltwater means that as the fire season extends, there could be more frequent fires with increased acreage burned. Fires can destroy properties, threaten the lives of humans and animals, create dangerous air quality, and deter tourism, creating economic hardship for the area in many ways. Rising temperatures also threaten the existence of alpine meadows and wildlife habitats at higher elevations. As the natural balance of the ecoclimate is upset, forests die, wildfires increase, and habitats are destroyed. Glacier National Park officials have adopted certain changes to alleviate issues, initiating hydro and solar power projects, installing recycling programs, and motivating guests and employees to travel by foot or bike instead of car when visiting the reserve. These are, however, only partial fixes. There is one very simple and permanent solution to climate change, and it starts with the food on our plates. Adopting a vegan diet is not only delicious and good for your mind, body, and soul, but it is also the most effective solution to halt global warming, thereby protecting our amazing planet and preserving its precious wonders of nature, such as Glacier National Park. All information concerning the scientific evidence of climate change and its solution is in Supreme Master Ching Hai's book, From Crisis to Peace, free for download at crisistopeace.org. For more information on Glacier National Park, please visit nps.gov/GLAC.
Vegan, 'cause you are a wonderful being.
Cherished viewers, thank you for your wonderful company. May your hearts flourish with compassion and faith evermore.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/NB.